Okay, so it is Friday, January 10th right now when I'm making this. Couple things that we need to know. You're not gonna be able to see this beforehand, but you have a quiz today. I hope you did great. Check your grade books over the weekend. The grades will obviously be in. Next Wednesday, no morning help. Then, as long as this snowmageddon that we're getting tonight and tomorrow allows us to come to school on Monday, because if we can't come to school on Monday, it's gonna change a little bit. But if we have school on Monday, we will have a test Friday, January 17th and Tuesday, January 21st. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed that the snowmageddon doesn't hit till later, because Mr. H's parents are supposed to be coming in to see their grandchildren. They don't really care about me, they just care about Eliana and Cole. So they're supposed to be coming in on Saturday. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that we miss on snowmageddon. Okay, so why am I teaching you this lesson on Friday, even though it's not really a lesson? Engage New York does a great job. They also expect you to remember a lot. So I hope that you remember this. I hope that this isn't needed, but I want to make sure that you have something to go back to that will help you refresh yourself. So we are going to be talking about inequalities. All next week are inequalities. And next week we're going to talk about, well, what do the signs do when we multiply or divide? I'm not really worried about that so much as getting you to understand just basic inequality symbols right now. So this symbol right here, can we see that? Because I've got this new tripod that I'm using and I'm trying to make sure that we can see everything. So this symbol right here, make sure that you use the words is greater than. When we have the symbol with a straight line underneath it, that means is greater than or equal to. Let's go the other direction. And you're gonna hear me call these gator mouths and talk about eating things, because that's just my simple way of making it make sense to myself. So the gator mouth's now facing the other way. This is less than, and then finally is less than or equal to. Wow, it's about to storm. I don't know if you can see that lightning on the screen, but I didn't realize it was, and there's the thunder. I didn't realize it was supposed to storm today. Okay, so is greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to. There are other words that will help us get these, okay? Is greater than or equal to, because again, Engage New York is a lot of word problems. If you see the words at least, that means we're going to be using the greater than or equal to symbol. If we see the words no more than, we'll be using the less than or equal to symbol. If we have more than, okay, so more than, we'll be using the greater than or equal to symbol. Okay, we're going to be talking about these words as they come up, because honestly, I don't know all of the words that are going to come up in your lessons. I've looked through them. I've actually made the video for next Tuesday already on last Wednesday. So it's Friday, so the 8th, because Miss Pierce wanted to watch me make a video. So I already made the video for next Tuesday. This is just the pre-up before that. These are the words. So what does this actually mean? If I have an inequality that has x is greater than or equal to 8, that means the value for x can be 8. 8 is greater than or equal to 8. So if I say make something or put a solution in that works, 8 works. 9 works, because 9 is greater than 8. 22 works. 7.99999 does not. That is not greater than or equal to 8. Now, I'm not supposed to teach you this yet, but I'd like to. So I am going to put a little star here. When we have inequalities, and you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. When we have inequalities, the variable should end up on the left. Okay? So let's say we solve an inequality, and we're going to work on solving inequalities, but let's say we've got 3 less than x minus 7. We solve inequalities just like we solve equations. There's going to be a little trick that we learn on Monday, but right now we find our balance point. Our balance point is going to be the inequality sign for us. I add 7 because that's the additive inverse to both sides. That's 0. X comes down, that's 10. My gator mouth stays the same way. This inequality is solved, but I do not want the variable on the right-hand side. So when it's like this, I switch the x and the 10. But when I'm flipping the whole inequality sign, if the gator mouth's eating the x, it has to stay eating the x. So I get x is greater than 10. This is only important when we graph, because we can graph inequalities on a number line. Okay, so here's 10. Now let's come back over here real quick. I'm going to put some circles next to these guys. Is greater than is going to have an open circle. Greater than or equal to is going to have a closed circle. Open circle, closed circle. Here's why. Is my solution, if I want to substitute something in for x, can I substitute in 10? Does 10 make this true? Well, let's see. If I put 10 in for x, 10 is greater than 10. Well, is that a true statement? If I have $10 over here, $10 over here, is this 10 more than this 10? If you say no, you're correct. It has to be greater than. So when I make my graph, I use an open circle because that's saying there is nothing there at 10. 10 is not a solution. The open circle represents that that's not part of the solution. The reason why I want my variable on the left for graphing is I now make my gator mouth into an arrow. Which way is my arrow pointing? It's pointing to the right. We can only do that when the variable is on the left. That's why this is important. So which numbers are greater than 10? Well, they're going that direction. So all we do is we shade that direction. Okay? So let's do one more again. I'm not trying to teach you a full lesson. I'm just trying to get you guys remembering inequalities. Again, we will learn a couple new tricks on Monday and Tuesday. So I'm not trying to show you everything. Let's say 15x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 5. Actually, yeah, that's fine. So now, find my balance point. Add 10 to both sides. That leaves me 15x, and actually I don't want that. I want to make it less than or equal to. I'm sorry. Doesn't really affect you. Gives me 15x equals 15. I divide both sides by 15. We're going to try this again. I screwed up. I told you equals. Well, what's the symbol? It's less than or equal to. So let's try that again. So now I'm still dividing. 15 divided by 15 is 1. 1 what? Well, that leaves me with a 1x. Still less than or equal to 1. Is my variable on my left? Absolutely. Is this ready to graph? Certainly. So now I can make my number line. I'm only putting one number here. Most often I'm going to want you to have at least 3 numbers. So the number in the middle, numbers on the other side while it's really raining. So I'm going to put 1 here. Less than or equal to. What value can I use for x? Can I use 1? Well, if I have $1 over here and $1 over here, is 1 less than or equal to this one? They're equal. Therefore, when I start it, it's not going to be an open circle because 1 is actually part of my solution. So we call that the closed circle. That's why the greater than or equal to and the less than or equal to have closed circles. My variables on my left, Therefore, I make my arrow. Which numbers are less than or equal to 1? Well, they're this direction. So I shade this way. We will get into inequalities all next week, but this is just a little quick lesson to get you jumped onto it. Okay, guys, have a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed the video.